And that means our work week has started. It means that we get to have tea time with you guys. It's been a long week. We've been away from you guys for about 4 or 5 days, and we feel lost. But today we are bringing you the trending topics, those things which everyone's talking about, but it is not the same without talking with us. You know what I mean? So make sure you stick on the hashtag Ebru Let's Talk. It's your favorite tea time here on your favorite channel, Ebru TV. My name is Lydia KM.
My name is Dana DeGrazia.
And my name is Naomi Womboy.
How was yours weekend?
Long without you.
I slept.
So did I.
Okay, that's my birthday. Snap. Didn't sound like an I slept. Snap.
No, all I did was sleep, chill, sleep and chill. I'm a bit of a bore, as you guys know. All I want to do is be at home.
I got a lot of work done. Thankfully, it was pretty productive. I still have like a little bit of a cold. Took my medicine. Don't worry, y'all. I'll survive. But it's just like, so I stayed home and I did work. And that's the amazing thing about it, because then we got to free up this time to come back to y'all. Like Leah said, the tea, you might get served other places, but you know it's the best with us. And it's time for that tea on Hot Talk.
Now, I'm telling you, I am all for a huge bride price, you know? I believe mine should be around, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
you're worth it.
I need like 50 goats, 29 cows, like 50 boars.
It's true. I am here for all of that. But now, unfortunately, first of all, a bride price is supposed to be something which is private. And not everyone's supposed to know about it. Even the girl is not supposed to know about it. Now, unfortunately, someone's bride price and the demand of that has been leaked. And KOT are going ham. Do we have the picture for the... yes, we do. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on screen. So I'm just...
First of all, that looks like a bill. That looks like a hospital bill.
Exactly. Okay? That's exactly what
so
it is.
let me read some of these things. And it's ridiculous. Like, I have no words. So one of the things which has been put here is, okay, and it's in Kikuyu as well. My people, there's a lot of things which are just like, just expected. Johia, Aduri, Moherega. That's like beer for old people. That's expected. I think the most expensive thing is Borussia Rorashio. That's Mbuzi.
Yes.
Right? That's 500,000. And if that's all you ask
500,000 from Mbuzi.
Yes.
Only.
No, it's 50 of those, and they're 10K each, sis.
No, I'm not saying only as in it's like. That's the only that amount of money is for that only category.
Yes.
I can't put it into English.
You need water for 5,000 liters. That's 30K. I'm not sure why you need that.
How many people for the first 5 years?
Rum. There is one bull.
I need a bull.
One whole bull.
Get me a bull.
Okay. I mean, the point of this is that first of all, in the financial climate that we're in, I hope this person, if this was for Chris Kirubi, then
of course, even double.
Exactly. But I feel like people looked into this more like, okay, the average Kenyan, the average man, this is extortionate. It's ridiculous.
It
and naturally, KOT are speaking from the place where it's, the common mwananchi. And if this is leaked, someone is going to feel like maybe they want the same.
The fact that it got leaked, I think that's the serious part. Because the girl's not supposed to know.
The girl's not supposed to know.
The family gets together, they talk about they talk about the money and do the negotiating, but that's just crazy.
I think it's wild to me. First of all, I didn't realize, maybe this didn't come out, I didn't realize that like dowries were put in an itemized list.
I didn't know.
I feel like out of all the extra things that you could do, to have it be like, here you are trying to marry the love of your life and everything, to me, number one, it sounds like they don't even want their daughter to get married. Like, I feel like if these are your demands, you're trying to like squeeze this man out, you know?
But we're assuming he doesn't have the money for it.
But either way, if we're assuming that he doesn't have the money for it, that is kind of my assumption, is like, do you really want her to be? Or if you're assuming that like he does have the money and it's going crazy, maybe that's why they made an itemized list. For all we know, maybe this is like a millionaire's dowry.
But on top of that, like me, I personally always felt like dowry dowry, like, why are you paying for me? Like, you're paying this amount of money for me.
Oh, baby.
I've always felt like that. Like, why am I being paid for? Because I'm worth more than $1 billion, baby.
That's true. It's hard to think about what price you are.
You're not being paid, and if you feel that way, you definitely shouldn't do it because it's not about being paid for. Dowry was supposed to be a gratitude, a show of gratitude to the family for raising you well, raising you right. And let me tell you, there's some things that reduce your bride price. I always joke about it. Like if I do something stupid, I'm like, oh my god, my bride price.
I've cut it down.
But really, there's some things like, for example, or increase it. For example, if the woman is pregnant, they say that you've already broken, you've broken the leg of our whatever so you've got to pay more. It's true.
You have to pay more?
You haven't asked for permission.
Oh, you mean if you impregnated her?
Yes.
Got it. Or like, what if, so then I also assume that if she has a kid from another guy.
If she's a virgin, you should be paying more.
No, the way it's supposed to be is you're supposed to be coming to seek permission to have the woman.
Yeah, why did you impregnate her?
But you already went there around them and did whatever you wanted to do.
You already broke the rules.
Oh, that makes some sense in the family.
You got to pay a penalty now for breaking the rules.
Yes. I feel like if you can afford it, then your bride price is between you guys. Then you're worth it, girl. KOT are going crazy because like we don't want to come in this situation where it's like it's a transaction. What do you need? I saw there's a duvet there. Yeah. There's so many ridiculous things on this list, and no one wants bride price to get there.
I feel like
it's becoming like a financial transaction,
Not only that, but it kind of reminds me of like, have you ever picked something up from the post office and the guy's sort of looking through your box, seeing what you have, like gauging how much they can get from you? Yeah. It's like, he's like your mother-in-law's walking through your house, it's like, I see you have fine china. Yeah. That's what the crazy calculating how much you pay. Like, this is a nice area.
It's true.
Maybe they knew the man had money.
Yeah, when you go to meet your girlfriend's parents and you're bringing to arrange get ready, bro.
Your mother-in-law comes with like a clipboard, like, so son.
Exactly.
But on a serious note, what I would advise, like for us who are still we are still doing things traditionally, and when you bring things like something traditional into this sphere, it's got to be dealt with in a bit more of a delicate way. Yeah. If you know how much your man's got, like first of all, you're talking to your mom. You know the relationship. You want that when your son, you guys are also gaining a son. It's not just like the other family getting a daughter. You're also gaining a son. The way to go about it, as far as I'm concerned, because think about later in life. This son is going to be doing so many things for the family. Christmases, birthdays, they're also taking care of your own daughter. So you don't want him to be broke then when they get married. What has he got left?
And doesn't the, like, Rorashio, the money, like, you pay it over time, right?
No.
Oh, really?
It's pretty.
From what I know, you go there and you give your money.
God. But I think that you can work it out with your in-laws in the sense of like, do you pay it over the engagement, stuff like that.
I feel like where we want to be is that we want even our children's children to still love this, dowry exchange. We want to keep the culture really together, and we can't do that if people feel exploited every time they say on the other side of their in-laws. And also how you negotiate the dowry is also a big deal as far as the relationship you build with your son-in-law. So you don't want that. This stage is just the beginning. You want to show your son-in-law that, we consider you, we appreciate you, we also love you too. It's not like this stranger is coming to collect our daughter, let's go for all his
By the way, it's not like an extortionist thing. It's not some sort of situation like.
But I feel like
we'll
that's
never
how
see him
this
again.
was portrayed.
That I cannot get over the extraness of the itemized list. If it really is a thing, let me know. I had no idea. I had no idea that it's typed out and beautiful. The thing is I didn't have like a major wedding. I purely got married legally. But I will say
but Rorashio's got to be done.
Once it happens to the point where we know we can have our weddings, because we're going to have like all 3 of them within a month, then my father's going to come and do the negotiation.
So you haven't
No, not yet.
Oh, so you've done introduction.
Yeah, we've done introduction, and we also did sort of like a traditional engagement party. But at this point, because I was also graduating, my sister is getting married, we've decided we're going to hold it off. But then once we have sort of the traditional wedding in Busia, the white wedding in Nairobi, and then also the wedding that we plan to have back in the States.
Oh, snap, she bougie.
That's all gonna happen.
Dana's dad, come talk to us. We got a list for you.
I have my team here. you know? It's going to get crazy.
I mean, this is something which, like, you know, KOT, Kenyans on Twitter, for those who don't know, went absolutely crazy about.
Yeah.
So that means a lot of people are experiencing it. What's the craziest Horatio story you've ever heard?
Yes.
Anything. I'll tell you guys one. My cousin told me that he took one of his friends to a Horatio, right? And he had, you know, they were in a really good relationship, maybe 2 years or so. And once the negotiation was done, the father of the daughter says, you know, I can't remember exactly how it goes in Kikuyu, but point is, the girl had a baby. And he was like, since you've bought it, you gotta collect the cow and the child together.
Oh my
Since you've incurred some damages.
Can you imagine? He didn't know that. That's my crazy Horatio story. What have you heard from Horatios that's like, why are people doing this? Or what kind of dowry stories do you guys have?
Yeah.
The hashtag is Ebru, let's talk. And the SMS line is 40920. For me, that was it.
Yo,
When I heard that,
that you know, that's crazy because these things can get so heated. And you know, some parents even get heated over like small things, you could say. You know, most of us consider, like, obviously having a baby is intense, your parents might think about it, but even kissing can be a big issue.
Oh, yeah.
And this was even talked about because there's a very famous actress, Nice Wanjiri, Wanjeri, my apologies. But Nice has gone on record saying that she absolutely refuses to do kissing scenes in any movies. Because for her, she says that she will feel guilty for the rest of her life if she ever did it. So she's turned down roles, which means she's cost herself money about it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
what's the guilt about?
I think the guilt is more like people feel like if you've been raised, you know, you shouldn't be intimate in any way with someone who you're not having feelings with. Maybe she's worried it might make her seem promiscuous, even though it is part of the job. I mean, you guys, even I had to fake a kiss with someone for an acting gig. And it was.
I mean, sex sells.
First of all, at the time he was somebody's fiance, so I'm still gonna say had to because it was an acting.
She was out here
thing.
kissing people's
It was an acting thing. It was an acting thing, and you all enjoyed watching it. But I will say it was super awkward. Number one, because you're kissing in front of like a set full of people, so it's not even like you're getting real romantic with this person. And number two, it is like maybe you've known each other for a little while, you've never been on any sort of flirtatious level, and then all of a sudden your faces are smushed together, and then let's say the director says wrong angle, do it again, do it more like this, it has to look like this. So you're there doing it over and over again.
I mean, me personally, I think get your money, sis. Get your money.
Get your
if
coin.
you're an actress, get your money. Speaking from a personal point of view, doing like music videos and stuff. My parents would sometimes like be there. So like, you know, like the twerking scenes, like I'd have to calm them down.
Why were you allowed in there?
Then there was like one scene where like me and this guy like got close enough to kiss, but like, and it's like just because of my parents. Like they're paying for it. Just because of my parents and just the look that I didn't want to give off. Like I didn't want to give off that look. Like I'm that type of girl that's just out there kissing everyone and rubbing up against everyone. Like so I see where she's coming from. But as an actress, I feel like you gotta get your money.
I mean, let me tell you, I feel like actresses across the world all have different rules. Number one, in Bollywood, there are no kissing scenes. And they are some of the most successful people in the world. So you don't have to kiss anyone to be successful. I think that's just a myth. You don't have to. But where it comes to, I feel like when it comes to your craft, you know, you've got to be really tender in the way you deal with it. You know, if acting is what you want to do, you know, you do want to make sure that the picture which you're portraying as far as an actress is accurate of who you are. So if you feel like that role goes too far, etc., that's fine. But for me, as far as you're an actress and you have an issue with kissing someone or something like that, when you already know the dynamics are, you're an actor, I'm an actor, this is nothing. I find it a little weird. But she's been super successful without kissing. So she's a prime example that you don't really have to do it. But just because a girl does, that is not anything. That's nothing to do with her moral code. It's nothing to do with who she actually is. It's her job. And she's doing that job and she's making that money as authentically as the one who chooses not to kiss. You know, as far as guilt, I don't know where the guilt is coming from because one, I don't believe that together with the husband anymore.
Well, I think
don't know.
at the end of the day, if you were raised in such a way where you shouldn't have a physical interaction with someone you don't have feelings for,
where is that? Where is that? Where are we? Even Africa, I don't think that's what we are told.
Maybe she even used the word guilty in the sense of like she wants to put off a certain image. I have no idea what was running through her.
Yeah, because even when I was with my ex and doing music videos, he would be like, "No, I don't like you grinding on that guy."
Yeah.
So
some people don't necessarily.
like, this is my job.
Yeah. Some people don't necessarily acknowledge it as a job. I will say though, because you made a point about Bollywood, the thing is, it's like. It goes back to number one, what market are you in? Because the Bollywood market, there's not like a demand for people to be kissing.
The Kenyan market, there isn't either.
They've created sort of this idea that people don't. And I'm not saying that the Kenyan market, there's a demand for people to kiss. But what I am saying is I feel like what she is doing in a smart way, if she's decided she's never going to do it, is from this statement, she's building a brand. Because now people are going to approach her with a certain type of role. She's going to be thought of as the woman who needs to be successful as like the good girl type kind of thing.
The one who doesn't kiss.
Yeah, the one who doesn't kiss.
Yeah.
Because even if you look at those Hollywood actresses, most of the time they do get typecasted as very specific roles anyways. So she's just setting herself up for success maybe. You don't know.
Yeah,
who knows?
Really
I mean, I feel like each to their own. Not that I agree, honestly. I feel like right? But you know, each to their own, especially in this era when a woman feels like she doesn't want to do something in particular, she doesn't need to.
Yeah.
So if that's how she wants to build her career, and you're right, it's about branding. Some people want to be branded as, you know, girl next door. Others want to be branded as, you know, down for whatever girl. Yeah. It's completely up to you how you
tell
want
us
to be
what
branded.
brand you are on the hashtag Ebru Let's Talk.
The SMS 40920. Yes. But also with these young girls comes like young pregnancies at the same time. And also maybe that's why they don't want to be seen a certain way. But there was a girl, Chantel Petit, in, you know, in the media. And she was talking about like how she just can't do it anymore. She had a child, I guess, with a certain someone. And after her child, can I say the name? After the child, she was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I guess she had like surgeries done. Like,
she had
it was a really bad,
pregnancy.
difficult pregnancy. And she was going through it by herself, of course. And now after the child, she's just like, I can't do this anymore. And that goes back to like what we've talked about before, like postpartum depression.
Absolutely.
Like, and how it's not really like known or brought up like in Kenya, or people don't recognize it as much. But it's really sad. But I
mean, we've invested, a lot of people, Kenyans have definitely invested in her story, from, you know, the struggle she had, like even the harambee she had to do because of the amount of pregnancy complications that she had. It's been something which everyone feels like, you know, rooting for her. We are fighting for you. We are here for you. You know, people are really invested. And with all the investment, unfortunately, the other half of the situation is not exactly interested. But I completely empathize with her feelings. And I am so happy that we are in a place where when a woman feels like, today I'm just not the strongest, she is able to communicate that. Because we have to end this image of women being like, you know, I'm pregnant, I'm going to work, I
have to be superwoman,
and you have to be behind the wall.
You know, that's not real. That's not real. And I would, the more people open up about, I'm struggling, I'm not okay. Today I'm doing really, it's really hard. The more people open up, the more when you're having a bad day, you feel like it's okay. And 100%, any situation that you're in, especially mentally, feeling like it's okay is 50% of the battle. Feeling like I can get past it. You know, so when somebody like this, somebody who's super high profile, who's gone through so much and she's persevered, to come and say, do you know what? I'm not doing all right. It's sad because there's nothing we can do about it, but it's just so warm.
You know what interests me about this story, and it's interesting because I feel like it's kind of happened before, but this is obviously a higher profile, is you would think from how much attention she's getting and support she's getting that the baby's father would come forward with a
you would think
like
that.
you would think not even just guilt, but even if let's say he is a real bad person and he wants a piece of the action. Like, let's say he's a bad person and he, you know, wants his face out there and he wants sort of the notoriety of it, and maybe he'd even come back saying, oh, you know, I want to support and love you through it kind of thing. But even if he's just like who we would like to consider, like, let's say everyone is good, you know, at their core, he would see what she's going through and the pain and how public she's being about it, and want and like feel the need to have an impact. Because the thing is people relate to this situation, or I feel like when I see two people in a situation, like he may not be seeing it as like the mother of my child. He's seeing it as it's my baby mama. You know, that the mistake I made. But at the end of the day, like her health and vitality and well-being affect the child that you created. Like you had a hand in creating a life that depends on her being good and being in a good place.
The first thing, we are assuming, number one, that the situation he's in is free and single, and this was all done above board. You never know.
God forbid, baby, you know, you
exactly. God forbid it was a situation where he's already in another relationship,
you never know.
And then you get pregnant. Now, if I'm someone's girlfriend and for whatever reason, maybe I'm mad, I've decided to forgive him. One of the conditions is that you stay away from her, not necessarily the child, and also publicly. We're not doing this united together front when you're in a relationship and I'm working on forgiving you. You're supposed to be financially taking care of that child. If you need visitation, right, we need to go to court, do your part. But the social media, mimi na wewe tupa moja, because we had a baby, is not going to happen if the situation he's in on the other end is not above
but you
board.
know, even if it's not above board, and here you are, you know, sneaking around, whatever. But at the end of the day, if let's say you stepped out on me and you did get her pregnant, I would leave you, not even just for cheating, I would leave you if you tried to deny that kid anything.
We are going to assume that it's not everyone who leaves.
But in the sense, but not even that. Even let's say I want to forgive you and work it out. Where I would draw the line is if you tried to have it be where you don't want to work things out for her for the sake of the kid. I'm not saying
you don't need to work anything out with her. You just need to
you
make
don't
sure
have
you
to
have
work
a
out
cordial
romantically.
relationship.
You don't have to be romantic, but there is such a thing as co-parenting. There's plenty of relationships where two people can co-parent, and then you separate and have perfectly healthy other relationships.
But she was also like young. She's also young, and you know we've talked about like young single mothers so much. And it's sad to see her go through this, and I'm glad that she's expressing herself. And she even said, "This is my bundle of joy. Like I can't like live without this baby."
It's true.
Which is an amazing response.
It's true.
And fathers need to be held more accountable, especially
definitely.
look at the social climate we're in, where females' body autonomy is on such a precarious point right now. But the conversation has to include men, because you know a woman can only really get pregnant once a year. A man could impregnate a woman theoretically every single day of the year. All right, so we need to explore the conversation of being more active in the thing that you had a part in creating.
Especially when you're dealing with socialites. Especially when you're dealing with socialites.
And if you're out there,
they don't feel like they're held accountable.
It's
for
true.
anything.
If you are right there right now, and maybe you are going through the same experience. Number one, it doesn't matter whether it was chini ya maji, juu ya maji. It doesn't matter.
You're valuable.
You are already in the situation. So the past, we forgive the past, and you've got to face your future, whether or not the person is going to be there for you or not. Every single day you wake up, you do what you can as far as affirmation, praying, meditating, whatever brings you strength to remind yourself that you can do this. Because not all the time, the person who you chill with takes you through the whole ride with you. You know, but for everyone who might be going through the same situation, we send you nothing but love. We send you nothing but warm wishes, and we hope that you find the strength to persevere through the same way Chantel is doing. She might not be having every day easy, but she's pushing through even the hard days. And you know what? You can too. Why not? Hashtag Motivational Wednesday. Why not? This is a really hot topic, you guys. I mean, everyone's talking about it. What do you think of the situation? You know, are you sending your heart there to her? Because there are some people who criticize her because, you know, you should have, you could have. The hashtag is Ebru Let's Talk, and our SMS line is 40920. Now, one of the reasons why, you know, like those kind of dynamics are tough is because of culture. And culture, we push it forward as this thing that we are looking around, but we are culture. We are society.
We made it.
And there are so many misconceptions that we get from culture, and I'm going to read two of them. And, you know, you guys can tell me what you guys think. Because if we always constantly point to culture, then no one takes accountability. So it says, our culture has accepted two huge lies. The first is that if you disagree with someone's lifestyle, you must fear or hate them. Second is that that to love someone means you agree with everything they believe or do. Both are nonsense. You don't have to compromise convictions to be compassionate. That's 100% true, and I'm going to give an example if you're in a relationship. For example, Kim Kardashian gets all the slack for everything Kanye says. And if you do watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, like some of us, you will know that half the time she's like, oh my God, what did he say? Like, what did he do? She's not part of that. She's in love with him. Yes, that's her husband and the father of her children, but not every single thing that he does, she agrees with. But that doesn't mean that she's going to throw him out because they disagree. Sometimes you can disagree with someone, still be in love with them, still be best friends, and nothing changes. And another thing, if I say if I disagree with you, for example, Nice Wanjeri right now, I just said I don't exactly agree that if you're an actress, for whatever reason you feel some kind of guilt about kissing. I disagree with that because that now makes that kissing when you're acting is now something.
It's like a shameful act.
It's not a shameful act, you know? I disagree, but that's to each their own. And when I see her, I still think she's a phenomenal actress. She's hilarious. Nothing changes. I just disagree with this one thing. So yeah, 100%. Culture, lying again.
So, okay, let me be a little devil's advocate here. I agree with you to the extent it's like the likelihood of you liking every single action that someone that you love takes.
Even 60%.
The likelihood is slim to none. And, you know, clearly people will still get married and be in love and all that. I will say, though, that it's like, if I don't agree with your core values, we're not going to get along. And I will honestly end friendships over it. Like, I was even reading something today that was about ending friendships over political views. And it was kind of the same premise of like people treat political views like there's something over there that it's like even, you know, people don't even really talk about it. It's something to be avoided. You keep it hush hush kind of thing. And then when you're asked about it, and if it doesn't agree with mine, listen, I'm not going to be a violent, upraging, you know, person against your view. But I will say that, let's say if I support something, and I'm a pretty liberal person, as you know, and you're like an ultra conservative, you know, Trump voter, we're not going to get along. And we're not going to be able to build a relationship kind of thing. So no, I don't have to like everything about you, but if you conflict for what I passionately stand for, we're going to have an issue and we're going to have a conflict.
I definitely agree with that. But it's not that you have to hate them.
No.
You don't have to hate somebody that you disagree with.
Yeah.
Like, you can come to a compromise or you can't. And you can, it depends on, like, your relationship that you have. Like, you can either go with it or you don't. Like, at the end of the day. But when you tend to, like, love someone, like, everything just seems so happy-go-lucky. And everything in your ear just sounds like
roses.
It's perfect.
It is.
Like,
with what I'll take from your point is that let's say with political opinions or political views, number one, it depends on, first of all, how researched whatever you're saying is. Like, I gotta care.
I'll end a friendship if you're stupid too.
I've gotta respect where this is coming from. If we're just talking and all I can hear is the headlines,
conspiracy
so you haven't done any research, so this is not even serious. What I tend to, my rule of thumb is prejudice. If anyone has views strongly that either are about harming other people or, you know, sexism, sexism, racism, those clear ones, because those are, you're right, to the core of who I am. But even if you do have those kind of views, that for me is a massive boundary. And it's a massive boundary as far as you being in my life, not that when I see you on the street, I'm going to spit on you. You know what I mean? But naturally, it's rare that you find friendships that we've actually built that our core values are not the same.
Well, you know, the shocking thing is,
or are we talking like, you know, we are best friends and then, you know,
and then
voting
like
for Trump, now I
get out of here.
And I'm only hearing, listen,
are you being serious?
You guys, I'm so serious. Never. Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
In the sense of like, let's just say if someone has a huge change of heart, sometimes I will say it affects, you know, people change their opinions over time. But you guys, have you ever ended a relationship over something like this? Like me, I'm the type, I dig my heels in, what can I say? But love is love, and let's hope we can spread that at least, right? But we're going to go on a short break, but remember to get on the hashtag Ebru Let's Talk and text us at 40920. See you in a minute.
Welcome back to the show. If you have just joined us, we are sorry that you missed Hot Talk because it was hot.
Heated.
It was hot.
But welcome to the show, guys. The hashtag is Ebru Let's Talk and the SMS sign is 40920. Today we're going to be talking about something super interesting.
Yep.
It's going to be like, crazy. You're going to shout and everything. But we're just going to get into that. So make sure you stay on the hashtag. It's time for Talk That Talk.
Come and take a seat, girl. This is what you need. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Okay, guys, so this conversation is like ingrained into Kenyan society, y'all. It is the talk, we call them sugar babies, sugar daddies, but here they're more known as sponsors. So the sort of key characteristics of a sponsor is essentially wealthy enough to support somebody else other than themselves, a romantic interest, and usually, let me cut this line. Sometimes that person they're taking care of isn't their wife, is just their girlfriend, is a side piece. So we can do a little bit of reading because this is about a specific woman who is living off of a married man. So she was sent to the best of men. The sponsor would send 5,000 Kenyan shilling or $5,000, $500K every month. He would then suggest that she goes buy land, a car, all that stuff. And when it went down, she was the one who was arrested because all the money passed through her account. It's good to use the little you have. At least you know where it's coming from. So, y'all, this is the story. A woman was, living the good life as a sugar baby to a man who unfortunately was getting his money in not the best ways, and she suffered the consequences for it. So you got to be careful who you're going to be sponsored by, right?
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
Here's the thing. First of all, in the relationship with like sponsor and girl, you don't know that much detail about the person. And here's the thing, raised where I was raised, Nigerians flock everywhere, and 419 fraud is real. So where somebody gets their money has always been something which I'm super conscious about. It's something which I'm super conscious about. So naturally, if somebody here is like, have all this money, I want to be 100% sure where it's coming from.
Where is it coming from?
Yes, in fact, there's a situation with an unknown person who I know where this person was like, can you please, I'm going to get X million amount of money and I would like you to keep X amount of millions of cash in your house. Why? Who's paying you this much amount of money in cash? You're not even asking any questions. So that's my problem.
Let me read the thing. I met this man 8 years ago. He is married and the wife lives in a different country. We met in a different country, not where he is living with the wife, and things are super. My child is going to a good school. I'm living in my own house. Men help build our empires, so let's not lie about it. Listen, it's cool if a man is building your empire for you. I will not judge you if you're a successful sugar baby, do you, right? But at the end of the day, this woman is a good story to learn from because if you don't know where he's getting his money from, you could suffer the consequences. And the moment, let's just be real. Clearly, he's sleeping with you and his wife's in a different country. Already, this guy is kind of up to a bit of shady activities. And so if he's shady in his business and you kind of get a hint of that, you could be the one who goes down too. Because if you really think about it, who is he willing to sacrifice most? His wife? No. Kids and everything. No. Is he willing to sacrifice his business and himself? No. His, partner in business? No. You're going to be the one to go down if he can place it all on you.
Most definitely.
Well, I'm not on the view that, be a sugar baby and do what you got to do. I don't at all stand for that. It's not, I'm not going to throw rocks at you when I see you if you're doing it. Absolutely not. But I cannot be for the sanctity of marriage and for extramarital affairs and sugar babies and whatever. And the reason why my biggest issue with the sponsor sugar baby situation is the imbalance of power. And you think that that's a good thing when you're enjoying it. But if that person wants to kind of punish you in any way, shape, or form, it's such a big imbalance, and you always stand to lose. That's not a position you want to be in. You know, and when you start living a particular standard of life, you know, if I got me a Range Rover, I've got my house, I'm traveling everywhere, you will be so addicted to that lifestyle that whenever you want to pull out and have a normal life, you won't be able to respect the men who are legitly getting money because they're not spending it like your sponsor. You know, because your sponsor is 100 years old. Of course, he's worked more years.
Can we read? I just want to read this really quick because I think it's a good point that we have to make. He is not a sponsor since we have been together for 8 years. We are not going to get married and we are not planning to have kids. But yes, he is providing. He sends me $300 every month, and he even told me I don't have to work. Listen, girl, like, yo. How many times, can you really count how many times this man has actually like left his wife for you? How many times this has worked out? Like, you've been his like relationship on the side into your 50s, 60s, 70s. Like, do you really think that this is sustainable? Because my other issue with sugar babies is if he's really telling you you don't have to work, that's another way for you to be wholly dependent.
Yes,
it's just not going to work.
That's a red flag.
I don't know if all of these stories like go together, but from the first story,
it's the same.
You have to know. You have to know where that money is coming from. Period. Point blank. Like, because men and Nigerians, con artists, I've dealt with them. I've dealt with them. But at the end of the day, it's always not. It's kind of nice to have somebody like sending you money all the time. But yes, when you become dependent on it, number one, if they decide to stop, that's it. That's your life. You're getting kicked out your house. Your kids are not going to school.
It's true.
Like, all of that. It's sad and it's pathetic.
It goes on to say, initially I used to work in a very reputable organization, but since the man had money, I just became comfortable, and he told me that I don't have to work. It's been 4 years without me working, and I am comfortable. And I don't refute that it must feel good to get $5,000 a month. Sign me up. I get it. It's not, first of all, the girls who aren't sugar babies, it's not that we don't want to live that life. No. It's just that when you analyze the consequences of getting there, they just seem too much. As I said, number one, if I'm not, and the way Dana said, when you're wholly dependent on someone, that means the equilibrium in that relationship is so off balance. There's nothing you won't do to hold on to that lifestyle. And he knows that. That's why he told you not to work. Because when you have your own money, when he doesn't send it, you won't die. But he needs you to be in a place where controllable situation. When you guys get into an argument and he's like, oh, you remember that $5,000, don't you? So that means you're not able to be free in a situation. And as far as that he's not a sponsor because you guys have been together, no, he's just a long-lasting sponsor.
Y'all have just had a successful sponsor relationship. He's a successful sponsorship.
Exactly. But you find a lot of like Nairobian, especially, sorry to say, but Nairobian women and girls, they're looking for these sponsors. Like, that's what they're looking to be, the next Vera Siddiqa or something. Like, they're looking for that quick buck, that quick money, and it's sad. No, make your money, sis. Always be dependable on yourself.
Let me make this point. The experience which I've seen here, the biggest thing which I think kind of pushes sponsorship situation is that, number one, women are always going to look for power. It's part of us, the same way men are always going to look for youth and the way that it's just in us. And unfortunately, power in this country is not in young men. It's not in young men. Because here you study 100 years, you work for next to nothing for about all your 20s. So when you're making like actual money, you're in your 30s. And that's the time which you've settled down, you have family, so you're not in that dynamic. If young men had money earlier, the dynamics with young people would be different. I don't need to go to a sponsor if my money can send me $2,000. You know what I mean? And I see that equilibrium, and that doesn't mean that you know, you should be a sugar baby, but I see how the state, the way the economics are set up right now between the sexes does make it difficult for the young boy child coming up, because you are telling me to be faithful to you and to be good to you, but somebody is about to change my life.
But you shouldn't be depending on another married man.
You shouldn't.
Especially a married man.
But you know, even at the end of the day, let's just be real. There are entire websites devoted to these relationships. Let's just read this really quick, because this is actually from a sponsor talking about his relationship with his little girl. These things happen. There's a woman I send $10K every month just for her own stuff. She's not my girlfriend, just a good friend. There are things you share with people, just a relationship with sex, just things you cannot share with someone else. My wife suspects, but she is not sure. I've been sending her the cash for the last 1.5 years. So the issue with this, right, is that it's like, first off, identify her as your side piece, okay?
First off, 10K, 10K.
Maybe that's a lot for somebody. Maybe that's a lot.
It is. It might be
life-changing.
But 10K, come on, honey, you better reach for that.
But you know, sometimes people get lucky, but does she know the source of my money? My ex is rotting in Langata Women's Prison for the same mistake of receiving money. She has no clue where it came from. See, this is the thing. And you have young pictures of beautiful young women with older men. Listen, you guys, like I said before, businesses have been built on relationships like this. Businesses have been built from, like what you said, the natural desire for women to go for power and the natural desire for men to go for youthfulness.
Can I ask a question?
It happens.
So are we resentful of sugar babies because the man is married or because he's too old? Which one?
I'm not resentful of them at all, except for the fact I'm like, why didn't
I think of it?
I would not go for a married man. Like,
so is that your issue? The issue is the married.
Married man out of bounds.
Right.
Even age is kind of something for me, but since I've turned 25, like
with a couple years
we can
experience.
talk about that.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, there's this kind of, people feel for the wife, and you know, especially people who are like for marriage, people judge sugar babies and the people who are sponsoring them because they feel like you want to keep that sanctity. And if this is happening to another woman, you know, I'm human too, blood runs through my body, so you know, it could absolutely happen to me. Now you guys, this is crazy, and we know this is talked about all the time, but what do you guys think about this story? Should the sugar baby be look deeper into where the money comes from, or how do you think this should happen? The hashtag is Ebru Let's Talk, and the SMS line is 40920. Guys, make sure you tell us what you guys think.
We really want to know. I really want to know. Like, are you gonna get a sponsor, girl? Like, hey, hashtag Ebru Let's Talk. The SMS is 40920, and it is time for game time.
Come and take a seat, girl. This is what you need. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
All right. So, our game time today is called the Gambling Challenge. We have 3 cards over here that we will be mixing up.
Oh my God.
And each of us get to choose one and I guess act it out or something.
So all of us gotta get up and pick now.
All of us gotta get up. Here we go.
Pick one then.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay. I picked.
Can you stop mixing because of suspension?
Okay. We don't show each other?
No,
okay.
Dana
goes first.
Okay. You can go sit down. Okay. Because I will go first. I volunteer as tribute.
You can't look at it.
I volunteer as tribute. Okay. So, I don't. So the dance is the Odi dance.
You gotta do the Odi dance.
Yeah.
Thank you, producers.
Lydia.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Thank you for giving me that. And the act is: imagine you are assisting God on Judgment Day. How would you do it?
Go on, Odi dance. Let's go, guys.
Do I do it at the same time?
So wait, what was the second part?
I have to assist God on Judgment Day.
Oh my God, that would be so much fun.
Right, you guys? I am a judgy person. I'm a judgy Judy.
All right, so judge our producer Sharon.
Oh yes, our producer Sharon.
I disagree.
Judge our producer Sharon.
So Sharon, what's Sharon's in
Jerry?
In Jerry. So Sharon, I see you've been a very mean lady.
Yes, she has.
To your poor workers. But you're kind.
Yes.
You do charity, but you're so mean, Sharon.
So mean.
But you know, it's okay. You have a nice smile. You just go through. You just go
Are you
through.
being
It's okay.
serious?
Yeah, you don't. She is my boss. That's what Sharon gets. Sharon gets heaven. Okay, wait a minute. Now I'm gonna judge both of y'all. What do you mean?
Oh.
All right, judge me then.
Lydia and Naomi, pass. They go to hell. It's okay. They can meet me there. It's fine.
You know what? Whatever.
They go to, okay. All
It's
right.
You get the opportunity
Everybody
to send our producer to hell and you don't take it?
Wait, so do I
Sharon,
say
please
both of them
remember
at the
this
same
is-
Say
time?
both of them at the
I
same
say
time.
both of them?
Yes.
Okay, sing and dance. Okay.
Okay.
Sing Jumbo Kenya and dance.
God, thank God that was not me.
And dance Hipala dance.
I don't know what
Hipala
Hipala
dance.
is.
don't
There
know
hopefully
what
will be a video to reference.
Okay, wait. Okay, Jumbo Kenya is Jumbo. Jumbo sana.
Hey.
Habari gani? Muzuri sana. Hey. Wageni.
Yay!
Wakaribishwa. Kenya yetu hakuna matata, njia kupendeza hakuna matata.
Look at her.
Njia, okay, all right, I
Hey!
The airport
did
needs
it.
to hire you.
I did it. Okay, dance Hipala dance.
So let's see if the video will.
Hey!
Okay,
I feel like I wish I got Dana's one.
I know.
I
First
wish
of
I had
all,
Dana's one.
the pressure of sending your boss to hell. Oh my. Good thing Jews don't believe in hell.
Read it.
Okay, so the act is how would you handle a situation where you've been caught by the police making out in the car?
Ooh.
Apart from dying,
Wait, is that like wrong in Kenya?
No.
it's wrong everywhere. You're
So
not allowed to
making
make out.
out?
No, but they don't know if you are just making out. They're not about to test you. So if they find
Show
you,
me your pants.
if they find you. All right, and then the singing is Baby Shark.
Oh yay!
All right, let me how would I handle it? Oh my God. Okay, all right, fine. I've been caught.
You've been doing the D.
Oh my God. Officer, we are so sorry. Oh my God, we didn't even do anything. See, we're fully clothed. I swear we didn't do anything. What can we do? Anything, please. Officer, we are so sorry. We know we've done wrong. Please, I beg you, please. I don't wanna go
You
to
can do
jail.
better than that.
I don't wanna go. Girl, that's all I could do. So yes, I would beg. I would bribe.
She's not
whatever.
too proud to beg.
All right, do my sing then.
Yes.
My song.
Baby shark.
See, I get my
Who has
beat.
it?
No.
Do we just
Just
go?
sing it. Don't sing,
Baby
Dana.
shark, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, baby shark,
We keep the beat for her.
doo-doo-doo-doo, baby shark. Something, 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 something.
You don't
Daddy
sing.
shark, something, something. Daddy shark, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, daddy shark. Mommy shark, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, mommy shark, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, mommy shark, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, mommy shark.
Yes. Okay, there we go. Are we good?
I know.
It goes all the way to grandpa, and then there's like techno
and
remixes.
on and
It can get
on.
crazy.
I feel like who's won? I feel like we're all losers. No, actually, you did all right. I think you've.
Who won?
We all won.
I'll hear it.
Yay! Right?
But we all put in a good effort.
And I hope you guys sometimes participate with us at home so that we don't feel, stupid, alone. You know what I mean? But we will give you guys an opportunity to do a lot more of that tomorrow at 6 p.m. We've enjoyed ourselves. We know that some of the topics were a bit intense. So we hope there are no arguments at home. So don't forget to continue the conversation on our hashtag Ebru Let's Talk. Until tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. My name is Lydia KM. That's at Lydia KM on all social media handles.
My name is Dana DeGrazia. That's at Hustle Goddess on Instagram.
And my name is Naomi Wamboy, WAMBOE.
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hey.